Hey, you beautiful people. It's your boy, Christian. Welcome to the Fitness Frenzy Ultimate Tutorial. By the end of this video, you will be a certified Fitness Frenzy user and you will be well on your way to hitting your fitness goals. So what is Fitness Frenzy? Fitness Frenzy is a meal planner, a macro tracker, and accountability enforcer. Or at least that's what the advertisement says. But in reality, it's a highly optimized workflow that I know works. It gives you very fine control over what you eat and how you work out. Just a quick heads up, Fitness Frenzy is a tool and there is a little bit of a learning curve. However, if you take the time to actually learn it, I guarantee you it will help you out. When used correctly, it will give you a whole new appreciation for fitness and food in general, which is super cool. And that's what this video is all about. We're going to teach you exactly how to use it and what the workflows are so you can be successful in your own fitness journey. So when you're ready, here is a quick little rundown of what we're going to accomplish today. Timestamps will be in the description if you guys want to jump along. Let's get to it. All right, when you first log into Fitness Frenzy, this is what you're going to see. I am going to sign in with Google, and I'm going to speed up the sign-in process for you guys. All right, this is the screen you come to after you sign in. Just a little bit of reading for you guys. Disclaimer, this isn't medical advice, blah, blah, blah. This is basically going over the workflow that I'm going to talk about in today's tutorial. Now, the first thing we actually have to do is enter in our height, gender, and birthday. This is actually so nice to be set up at 5'7" for me, and that is my height. I am male. And my birthday happens to be January 31st, 1995. Now here's the last step. Full disclosure, Fitness Frenzy does cost $2.99 a month. The first month is free, and this way it will never show ads and never sell your information. So when you're ready to take the plunge, we just go ahead and press free month. Now, I'm on an iPhone, so I have to go through this. Google might look a little bit different. And I'm going to go ahead and, again, type in my password. All right, it says done. Should get a little pop-up soon. All set. Press OK. And voila, we're into it. Now, I'm going to skip the tutorial part. You can go ahead and read this at your leisure because I'm going to go through everything it says anyway. All right, just a quick note before we get into the basics. Fitness Frenzy is designed to be brutally honest. That means you can only log for the current day you're on. You can't go back and change your records. That's by design. If you miss a day, that's okay. Just go ahead and get back on the wagon. That's totally fine. But we want people to be honest because at the end of the day, that's what's going to make you change. On to the basic functionality. So the first thing I want to point out is we have the little gears icon at the top here. This is just your general settings. You can go back and change everything, and you can see some tutorial videos as long as some other fun things. But we're going to get into the meat of this. The first thing you want to do every day when you wake up is log your weight. So we're going to go here now. I happen to have logged in at 181 today, so I'm going to go there. And remember to press log to save your record here. So we'll get a nice little check mark. You'll see I'll get a little points. So the next thing you want to do is you want to take a weekly progress photo. So we're going to go ahead and tap log picture. There's going to be a little dialog that says, do you accept camera permissions? You have to press yes. If you don't, you actually have to go back into your phone settings and change it to yes. So what you want to do is you want to line these shoulder icons and your head icon up with your actual body. I'm doing it on the computer. You tap the camera icon. Looks great. Once that's done, you can of course delete it, or we're going to go ahead and log. It's going to upload. The next thing you want to do is log your food. All right, so there are several ways to log your food, and it's in order of highest fidelity to lowest fidelity. The first thing we can do is log a full day fast. We just take the icon and we drag it over. But we didn't, so we're going to drag it back. The next thing we can do is other meal, but we don't actually have a meal saved yet, and we'll come back to this. Add food is probably what you're most used to, so we're going to go ahead and tap on this tile. Now we want to tap on the plus button. You can, of course, scan items in, and we're actually going to add in butter, egg, and coffee because we made ourselves some eggs this morning. We go ahead and press add. We adjust how much of each. Let's say we had 3 eggs and 2 cups of coffee. You can, of course, scroll. And to point out, we have grams here if you're going to weigh everything out. You press this down button. It now has showing a little arrow. We go ahead and drag it over to whenever we ate it. Let's say 5 a.m. this morning. The next thing you can do is quick add, which is just a way to add in, calories or particular macros. This is helpful if you go to like a restaurant, say McDonald's. The menu will have calories of, let's say McDouble, I think is like 360 calories. You'd go up to 300 and then drag it up to 360 to get an accurate, at least, calorie estimation of what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and press this down arrow. Again, this turns into an arrow you can then drag over to whenever you ate it. The next thing I think is super fun. It's alcohol estimator. So let's say you're with your boys and you have a couple. You can actually go ahead and log in your alcohol super simply without having to go into add food and find everything that you drank or are planning to drink. So if you long hold, and this is just in general on this app, it will tell you exactly what it is. But let's say I had a few rum and cokes. So we have mixed drinks, and I like diet soda. So we're gonna go ahead and I had 4 singles of those. We go ahead, press this down arrow, and then we drag it over to whenever we had it, or before we have it if we want to plan it out. The last thing we can do is what's called food estimator. And this one I really like because let's say you're at a party or a gathering and you don't want to log everything. This is a very rough estimation, but it's based off of your height and weight, gender and age. And you actually go in and you tap in how you feel after you ate the meal. You answer the questions, and then you tap this down button and you drag it over to whenever you had it. And again, this is just something to get the calories on the board. It's better to log something than nothing at all. Now that we have all this logged in, we can actually go ahead and press on our bars up here. And this is going to tell us exactly what we have going on. Now, we haven't set our macros yet, so this number is 0. These are the numbers that we have planned out. And again, if we long hold, it's going to tell us what it is. So big C is calories, little f is fat, little c is carbs, and little p is protein. But this last number will take the subtraction of these two. So this is what we have. This is our goal for the day. This is what we have planned currently, and this is what we have left. And as you can see, there's going to be a breakdown of everything that we have. Go ahead and press log at the very end to log. Again, we'll get this check mark here. And then the last thing I want to go over in this basic functionality, because we're going to do a workout a little bit later, is build a habit. So you can go ahead and add in habits. I like to start off with verbalizing one thing I'm grateful for. So for example, I'm grateful for my family. We go ahead and sign to complete. So there we go. Those are the basics. Now, on to our advanced features. But stick with me. This is what makes Fitness Frenzy so powerful. It's built off of 3 pillars: food budgeting, progressive overload, and accountability. And we'll go through each one in turn and how we use it. Let's get to it. All right, on to our first pillar, food budgeting. But before we get into the meat and potatoes, there are 4 terms I want you to be familiar with: calories, fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. These are what make up your actual budget. Calories are a unit of nutritional energy. We need these to keep our battery full and functioning throughout the day. Every food we eat has calories in it. That's what makes it a food. We can derive energy from it. You don't eat rocks for their nutritional energy. Calories come from what we call macronutrients, and there are 3 that we're concerned about here: fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. Fat is the most dense at 9 calories per gram. Fat is primarily used for long-term energy and some hormonal support. Carbohydrates, or carbs, have 4 calories per gram and are primarily used for quick energy. Lastly, we have protein at 4 calories per gram. These bad boys facilitate muscle growth and are the most satiating out of all 3 macronutrients. Now that we have an understanding of our 4 terms, albeit super simply, we can move on to one last piece of very helpful information. And it's this: since fat is the most dense macronutrient, it's actually great at storing energy, and that's exactly why our body stores fat. It's so if we don't have food, we can live and burn off energy that we have in our own system. But that comes with an interesting problem. We store fat, and we're not going to go hungry anytime soon. So if we want to get rid of that fat, we actually have to run through our energy stores. In fact, 3,500 calories per pound of fat on our body, to be exact. So to lose fat, we have to burn more calories than we intake. Unfortunately, we can't always control how much we burn, but we can always control what we intake, and that's exactly why we food budget. Let me show you. All right, on to food budgeting. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find our little puzzle piece down here in the left corner. Then this brings us to our meal planner. We want to tap on our little calculator here to set up our macros. Now we have our calories, fat, carbs, and protein. This next line is TDEE, or how many calories you burn in a day. And then this is how many calories we want extra or below our TDEE to either lose or gain weight. So this will actually give us a calculation of what that is. So we're going to put in my starting weight is 181. I want to lose 1 pound of weight a week, so -1 pounds. We want to stay between -1 and -2 pounds a week. You shouldn't be going below 1,200 calories, just in general. An activity level, we want to go to lightly active. It's always better to underestimate that than overestimate it, but these calculations are only a starting point. They're only a starting point. When you get better, you're going to be using custom. Now, we're actually going to be using that in a second because I can do 2,000 calories a day, 28 grams of fat, 250 grams of carbs, and 200 grams of protein. So, general rule of thumb is you want this, if you're doing a physique build, you want this to be around 1 gram per body weight you have. So, this is a good starting point. It says I burn about 2,500 calories in a day. To lose 1 pound in a week, I need to have a daily deficit of 500 calories. 500 times 7 is 3,500, or 1 pound of fat. But I don't like my fat being this low. I like it above 50 grams. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade these numbers and set my own custom macros. But remember, 2,000 calories. That's what I'm shooting for. So we're going to go fat. I'm going to put 60 grams. Carbs, we're going to go 200, and then protein, we can go 180, and this gets us to 200 or 2,060 calories, which is super close to that. So we're going to keep this custom split because I like a little higher fat and lower carbs. Cool, we set our macros. The next thing is we have our number up here, and this is what we just planned out. This is the number that we have currently planned in the day. So the first thing we want to do is we want to start adding food to what we're going to be planning out here. So we go to our staging area, that's this gray box, and we're going to add in some food that we like. So we're going to have eggs for breakfast. I'm going to be cooking it with butter. Then we're going to also have, let's see, some chicken breast. Again, I'm not going to be super creative today because I'm just not going to be going to do rice. But the beauty about this is you can have any food you want. Think of Fitness Frenzy, or at least this, it's a food budget. It's not a diet. Diet is the actual food you eat. The budget is just a framework that you can operate under. So we'll see that in a second. Chicken breast, white rice. We're going to do vegetables. We're going to do salad. We're going to have some vinegar And then we're also going to have some olive oil. So we're going to go ahead and press add. Now these all come into what's called your staging area again. And all these icons represent a meal that they can go into. There are 8 meals you can put in, pre-workout to evening snack. And to add it in, you just tap on the icon until it changes color. So we're going to go ahead. Vinegar goes into our salad. Salad will go into our salad. White rice will go into dinner. Chicken breast is dinner. Butter will be breakfast. Egg will be breakfast. Vegetables will be dinner and salad. And then olive oil will be dinner and salad as well. So you can see we already added some things and these numbers started to change. Red means you're too low or too high. Blue means you're close. Gray means you're in the ballpark. So we're going to have, let's say, 3 eggs for breakfast. You can also add a note by tapping on that, but we don't need to do that just yet. And I just want to quickly explain what this HV and COM means. So HV stands for high value. So instead of having to add, let's say you have a salad of broccoli, spinach, carrots, cucumbers. Well, it turns out all vegetables are pretty similar. So I took the average and took the highest bit. So if it's a vegetable and it weighs under the amount that you plan, the calories will automatically be actually under that. COM is similar. It stands for combination meal. This is factored in. I already have the vegetables, the dressing, and everything else you might put in a salad. Now, this is just a really rough estimation. I wouldn't recommend using it for planning, but you can use it in add food. So I'm actually going to slide to dismiss this. Anytime you see the trash and the arrow, that's when you can slide to dismiss. So vinegar and olive oil actually makes a great dressing. So 1 tablespoon there and 1 tablespoon there. And then vegetables, I found that 100 grams makes a pretty decent salad. So we're going to drag it until it gets to 100. So now you can see my fats are close, my carbs are close. I need more protein and quite a bit more calories. So white rice, since my carbs are close, I'm not going to change this. Hey, it's your boy from the future, editing Christian. I missed something here and I really wanted to point it out. Everything that comes in the base library with that plus is raw ingredients. So when you saw that cup of rice, that's raw uncooked rice. When you see chicken breast, that's raw uncooked chicken breast. Everything here is broken down to its smallest building block, and that way you know for sure you're intaking what you planned out. All right, peace. But I will change chicken breast because chicken is almost exclusively protein. So we're going to get this up to probably pretty close to a pound, which is 16 ounces. And now we're a bit closer here. We're a little high on fat, but that's okay. And I'm going to cook it with olive oil. So that's another bit. You need to be factoring in the oils and butters you cook with because those are really important. We're going to go ahead and keep bringing this up until we get closer to that 180. So we're going to go just a little bit below. And now we just need to get rid of a little bit of fat just so this gets close. Where can we do that? Where can we get rid of some fat? If I take this in half, this tablespoon of butter, which I can definitely cook 3 eggs on a half tablespoon, this gets us right in that mix. So we did it. We planned out a day. And again, if I eat this much for how many days I want to do this, I will be losing at least 500 calories a day, which would be a pound loss in a week. So the next thing I want to show you guys is how to save this as a meal. So let's say I absolutely love this salad. Well, I can actually tap on this little floppy disk icon and it will save meal. And this is going to be the plain Jane salad. Plain Jane salad. Going to press OK. I'm going to skip the tags and I'm not going to take a photo of it. Now, what's really cool is it comes up in my meals. And if I wanted to add this again, let's say I want it for my last snack, I could press the cookie and here it is. But we don't want that. And I almost forgot. I can't have chicken and rice without sriracha sauce. So we're actually going to scan that in real quick. We press the barcode scanner. And we're going to go ahead and scan in the sriracha sauce that I have laying around. And it's going to pop in at the very bottom of the staging area. So this goes for dinner. Go to sriracha and add a couple in there because I love sriracha sauce. Now, fun fact is as soon as you scan something in, it's going to pop up into your add food. So we should have sriracha sauce right here. So the more you use the app, the more you build up your own personal library. All right, so we have a meal planned. We have our food for the day. Now let's take a look at how we would log that. So we go over to home, we go to log food, and now you see that there are some colored boxes here. So we have our breakfast, our snack, and our dinner, or salad and our dinner. Now to log these foods, especially if you've prepared them, all you have to do is drag it over. That's it. So if you set things up ahead of time, logging becomes super easy. But we're going to go ahead and get rid of those because there's one other thing. Remember I said we'd come back to other meal? Well, now you just tap the tile and we tap our plain Jane salad. Now we can log in salad or any other meals that we've planned. We're going to press log, and there's one last thing I need to show you here with the food budgeting part is this shopping list. So we had planned out all of our food before. Now everything that all the ingredients that we've used will populate here. And you can take this slider, and if you want to plan for a full week, this is exactly how much of each thing you're going to need. Get back to that shopping list. And if you press this little scale, it's going to turn it into grams. But as you can see, we have ounces into pounds and things like that. So for a full week of eating, we need 9.2 pounds of chicken breast. Hooray. But again, this allows you to eat whatever you want as long as it falls within your specific budget. I know my pops has been super excited about being a chef. I am much more bland in my eating, but he's made some pretty good stuff. All right, on to the next part. Before we start talking about working out, I want to make two small little notes. The first note is that you don't log your workouts in Fitness Frenzy. Any active calories that you do burn in a day should be thought of as a bonus. Don't plan to burn an extra X calories per day. Just stay constant with your nutrition. The results will follow, I promise. The second note is, the best way to increase the amount of calories you burn in a day is actually to build muscle. See, muscle is an active tissue. The more muscle you have, the higher your TDEE, and the more calories you burn per day. And that's where our second pillar comes in, progressive overload. One of the best ways to build muscle is progressive overload. We want to gradually increase our weight or reps to constantly challenge our musculoskeletal system. This ensures that we are always progressing, or at very minimum, maintaining our muscle mass. Of course, the nice thing about Fitness Frenzy is that it's built around progressive overload. So that means every time you do a workout, you will see exactly your last record for each exercise. That's pretty cool. So now we're going to actually build a workout. Then we're going to journal one, just so you can see how progressive overload works with all of this. All right, time for our second pillar, progressive overload. So we're going to want to find the little dumbbell right here. We're actually going to be building a workout here. So we're going to tap build. There are two different types we can do. A countdown you do an exercise and it will play itself down. I'll let you explore that yourself. And traditional, which is specifically more what we're going to be looking for here, we go ahead and this is just like a workout journal. So we're going to tap that. Now, a couple things. This is your working area, and these are all the exercises you have to play with. And then these are the reps, the time, and the distance. But we're going to go ahead and enter in a name for it. So this is going to be a push day. We're going to be copying my push day so you guys have an idea. And then we're going to be adding a couple things in here. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we can actually press push, and it's going to show us all of our push things. But we're going to search for bench. Okay, bench press. So we take this over here. We can drag it to 4 time or 4 reps, and we're going for reps. Now, we actually want it to be 4 to 6, but if you wanted to change that, you can change it yourself here, like 7 through 5, or 57, I guess. But we're going to keep it at 4 to 6. And a little fun tip is if you change this, you can actually double tap and it's going to change whatever you have planned. But we're going to go back to 4 to 6, double tap, and then we're going to be adding in a rest after this. And we want our rest to all be 3 minutes long. So we're going to go ahead and type in 300, 3 minutes. This is going to be in our way. Going to put that, not right there, right there. Press OK, and we can actually double tap. And now what we can do is we're doing 3 sets of bench press. So we can actually copy this down, and we can copy this down. Copy this down, and copy this. So now we have 3 sets of bench press. The next one is incline bench press. So incline. And we're going to be doing the same kind of thing. 4 to 6, and we're doing it 3 times with a 3-minute rest after each one. The next one is, let's see what we got here. We want dumbbell bench. I guess this is a chest day too. Dumbbell bench press. Here we go. 4 reps. And again, that 4 to 6. This makes it easy on me. And then the last one we need is cable try push down. Cable try push down, 4 reps. And now, this is kind of fun. So we can actually move things in between as well. So we can move or copy. We actually want to copy that rest in there. And we want to copy this rest right there. So now we have 1 cable try. We need a total of 3. Rest, 4 reps, and 4 reps. There we go. And that's chest day for us, or push day. So 12 exercises. We can add notes in here as well, but we're not going to do that. And then we have 11 rests. We double tap to save, and we have a push day. Now, kind of neat here, and I'll show you this in a little bit, but we can actually share these with our friends. The same with meals, but we're going to ignore that for now. So now to actually take a workout, we go back to this home, and we tap do a workout. Push day shows up. We press on this, and we get a little timer, and if we want to take our rest, we just tap on that, double tap to cancel. So let's say I did 6 by 225. And you'd go through this entire thing, which we're not actually going to do, and I'm just going to double tap finish to save it. As you see, it turns red. But now, when we go back, we see the 6 by 225, and this is the basis of that progressive overload, is we will always see our last record on this particular exercise. And when we do these other sets, they'll populate there as well. So that means next time you go into the gym, you don't have to look anywhere but right here for what you did last time. And ideally, you'd want to be beating this either in reps within this rep range or in weight. So there you go. That's progressive overload. All right, on to our last pillar, accountability. You may have heard the phrase, it takes a village. Well, it's no different in fitness. And that's why Fitness Frenzy allows you to have accountabilibuddies. Yes, I'm not kidding, accountabilibuddies. These are people you add to, well, hold you accountable. When you add these buddies, they are easily able to see your logs and your progress. Remember, Fitness Frenzy is designed to be brutally honest. So when you miss a day, all of your buddies will know. But it's exactly this social dynamic that enforces accountability. Is it harsh? Maybe. Is it effective? Yes. Of course, you can always choose who your buddies are. That being said, I did make Fitness Frenzy with trainers in mind. So if you have a personal trainer, I would highly suggest adding them because they have an incentive to see you do well. Here, let me show you how to add a buddy, and then we can see what they see. All right, on to our last pillar, accountability. To add an accountability buddy, we go down to this user's icon, and a calendar pops up, and we can see everything that we've logged up until this point. So we see all of our food, all of our workout, our weight, things like that. But wouldn't it be super cool if someone else could see this? And they can. So we go ahead and press the plus icon up at this top portion here. We tap here to show our own QR code if you want to scan it, but we're actually going to scan in my main account. So there it goes. Now, important thing to know is my main account is on public data. This one is on private. So you can only see each other if you're both on private and you both added each other. if you're public, anyone who's had your code can see what you've done. So we're going to go ahead and type in a name for your boy. And these can be nicknames, whatever you want to call them. On my main account, I have my entire family, which is infinitely fun. So we have this, and now if we switch over to your boy, we can see everything that he or me has logged, which is super cool. And it looks like I haven't logged today, so naughty me. But I can go back and see everything. Now, the only thing an accountability can't see is your progress photos. Those are kept separate completely, so don't worry. No one else can see those but you. But a super cool thing is now that you have a buddy, you can actually share your meals and your workouts with them. So if we go over to this puzzle piece, we'll go to this chef's hat, and we see our plain Jane salad that we made. But if we go to your boy, we see all of his meals, my meals. And we can add these to our own plan. If we go over to our workout, now we can actually send this workout to your boy, me. When we go to do a workout, we now see all of your boy's workouts. And if he sent one to me, it will pop up right here at the top saying, this is what your boy has made for you. Quite literally. So we go back here. So now we can switch, and you can have as many accountability buddies as you want. Which, like I said, I have my entire family on here, so I get to check in on them and send on our group chat that we have together, if you miss a day. So super fun. Then the last thing is you can see their own stats, but we're going to go over this soon. All right, kids, we're almost out of the woods. Just one numbers-filled section left. I'm going to quickly go over the stats page and highlight the most important information if your goal is to systematically manage your weight. All right, just some quick stats for you guys. We come down, bottom right-hand corner, click on the stats icon. First little bit I want to show you is this gear icon. We have a start date and end date. This is just the range of the dates that the app uses to generate its report. So make sure at the very least this date is later than today's date. Don't worry about goal weight. We're going to go ahead. We see calorie statistics, macro statistics. Quick note here is if you do have Apple Health, you can see your active calories from like your Apple Watch, which is kind of neat. We go on to weight. Progress photos. This is my favorite feature. And of course, we don't have a whole lot of photos right now on this account to show you. But your day one will show up here, and your subsequent days you can scroll through will be right here. But I'll let you guys figure that out yourself. The last little bit is the spreadsheet, and this is the most important part. So we double tap to open it, and just want to give you a couple ideas of what this is. So this first number is average weekly weight. The second number is average weekly calories, and this last number is the weight change since last week, or what we call delta. Again, if you long press, it's going to tell you exactly what it is. So what we're looking for here is as you log in, these numbers will populate. You want this delta, if you're trying to lose weight, for example, to be around the number of pounds you plan to lose in your macro tracking portion. So as long as this number is -1 to -2, you're on the right track. And the reason we look at it like this is because your weight fluctuates quite a bit across the week, and that's okay. And that's why we have this average weight, and how this is calculated is it's this weight minus this weight. So if you want to go in the right direction, just make sure your calories stay constant. They should stay constant if you're planning everything out, and that this number is constantly negative. Once it gets to 0, that means you're starting to hit a plateau, and you need to either further decrease your calories or move a little bit more. So there is some more information in that down in the description. But anyway, that's stats for you. All right, I saved the best for last. Sprinkles. Yes, Fitness Frenzy has a game mechanic. Now, I know you were all thinking, Christian, those sprinkles falling in the main screen are pretty dope. But what happens if I want to change the colors or have more of them? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. And you can use them as trophies to show off to your buddies. Alrighty, kids, it's sprinkle time. Literally. I know you're probably wondering, like, what the hell are these points for? And I'm just going to quickly go over that. So, again, if you long press it, it's going to tell you exactly what it is. We have 1.4K points, 1,000 points. We get those by logging in certain things and using the app. This S stands for streak, how many times we've logged in a row, and these are called food frenzy points. So one food frenzy point equals 30 days of perfect logging. That means logging your weight and your food, as well as keeping up with your progress photos weekly. If we go up to this treasure chest, we'll go into our sprinkle shop. This will actually break down exactly how you earn your points. I'll let you explore that. Here's a couple things you can unlock. 10 trillion is the highest achievement we have in this app, and this is how you spend your Fitness Frenzy points. You can't buy them with actual points. You have to actually log consistently to get these ones. Now, yes, the sprinkles show up in the background here, but there's one other place you can see them, and it's right here on the users. I don't know if you guys picked up on this before, but here I have the default sprinkles falling in my background, and you can use this as a little bit of a trophy. But if you tap on your boy, he has bronze sprinkles. So I've been using this app for quite a bit longer and have quite a bit more points. So that's a fun little way to use this as a trophy. All right, that's the point system, just in case you guys were wondering. All right, team, we made it. You are now officially Fitness Frenzy certified. Feel free to come back to this video anytime, or check out the how-to links in the description. If you operate under the 3 Fitness Frenzy pillars, food budgeting, progressive overload, and accountability, and you stick with it, I guarantee you'll hit your goals. All right, dear viewers, thanks for watching. Keep doing great things, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.